Have you ever noticed that sometimes you end up doing what other people want more than what you really want? Does this sound familiar to you? Well, I don't know if you've realized it, but we negotiate all the time, not just in business. We negotiate when we want to get something from our wives or girlfriends. We negotiate when we need an employee to complete a task on a Saturday night. We negotiate when we want a friend to accompany us to a special event. We negotiate constantly, so keep that in mind. But now, how do we ensure we win in negotiations? That's what I'm going to explain in this video. Negotiation is a complex skill, but the book Getting to Yes by Roger Fisher and William Ury reveals an effective and proven method that can help you achieve a yes in any negotiation. Based on decades of research from the Harvard Negotiation Project, this method focuses on creating mutually beneficial agreements and building solid relationships. In this video, we're going to dive into the key principles of this method so you can apply these strategies in your own life and get what you want whenever you need to negotiate. Ready? But before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified of more high-value content like this and to expand your knowledge about finances, money, wealth, and success. Let's get started. Chapter 1: Separating the People from the Problem. One of the core concepts of the Harvard method is the idea of separating people from the problem. In many negotiations, emotions, perceptions, and personal relationships can get mixed up with the issues being discussed, creating unnecessary conflicts. Understanding emotions and perceptions. Imagine you are a manager named Carlos negotiating a salary increase with an employee named Anna. Anna believes she deserves a bigger raise than what's being offered, and the discussion starts to get heated. If Carlos sees Anna as the problem, the negotiation can easily turn into a personal confrontation. Instead, Carlos decides to apply the principle of separating people from the problem. He recognizes that Anna is expressing concerns about recognition and fairness, and decides to focus objectively on the salary issues. Carlos listens to Anna's concerns without taking them personally, and together they discuss the criteria used for determining raises. This way, the conversation remains constructive and focused on the solution, instead of turning into a conflict. How to apply. Whenever you are in a negotiation, make a conscious effort to see the other person as a partner in solving a problem, not as an adversary. Keep the focus on the issue to be resolved, and avoid letting personal feelings interfere with the process. This facilitates communication and increases the chances of a positive agreement. Chapter 2: Focus on interests, not positions. Another fundamental principle of the book is the importance of focusing on interests, not positions. In a negotiation, a position is what someone says they want, while interests are the reasons why they want that. Understanding the underlying interests of both parties can lead to creative and mutually beneficial solutions. Exploring underlying interests. Let's say you are a landlord named Maria renting a property to a tenant named Joao. Joao wants a discount on the rent and Maria initially refuses. Their positions are clear. Joao wants to pay less and Maria wants to maintain the price. If both remain focused only on these positions, the negotiation can easily stall. However, by exploring the underlying interests, Maria discovers that Joao is concerned about the rising cost of living and wants to save money to invest in a specialization course. With this information, Maria proposes a solution where she offers a small rent discount in exchange for Joao signing a longer lease. This way, both get what they want. Joao saves money in the short term, and Maria ensures long-term stability. How to apply. In your next negotiation, ask yourself and the other party, why is this important? Or, what do you really need here? This focus on interests allows you to better understand what is at stake and seek solutions that satisfy all parties involved. Chapter 3: Generating options for mutual gain. Fisher and Ury highlight that, contrary to what many think, negotiation doesn't have to be a zero-sum game, where one wins and the other loses. They suggest that by generating options for mutual gain, it's possible to arrive at solutions that benefit everyone involved. Brainstorming for creative solutions. Imagine you are a businessman named Roberto negotiating a partnership with a technology company. Roberto wants exclusive access to new technology, while the technology company wants to expand its market. Instead of seeing this as a deadlock, Roberto suggests a brainstorming session to explore creative ways for both to achieve their goals. During this session, they discover that if Roberto commits to promoting the technology in his networks, the tech company can offer him an exclusive usage period. This creates a situation where Roberto gets what he wants, and the technology company expands its market through promotion. Both win. How to apply. In your negotiations, set aside time to generate as many options as possible. Do a joint brainstorming session with the other party and don't dismiss any ideas without exploring their potential. The more options you create, the greater the chances of finding a solution that satisfies everyone. Chapter 4. Using objective criteria. A key element of the Harvard negotiation method is the use of objective criteria. When parties agree to base their decisions on objective standards, such as industry norms, precedents, or market data, the negotiation becomes more rational and less emotional. Establishing reference standards. Let's imagine you are a financial consultant named Felipe, negotiating a service contract with a new client. The client wants to pay less than Felipe normally charges, arguing that other consultants charge less. Instead of getting into an opinion-based discussion, Felipe suggests reviewing industry standards for financial consultants with his experience and expertise together. They find a report showing the typical price range for consultants in his area, which makes it easier to reach a fair agreement based on objective criteria. How to apply. Before entering a negotiation, research and identify the objective criteria that can be used to guide the discussion. This can include industry standards, market data, or legal references. Using these criteria as the basis for your proposals makes your argument stronger and less subject to emotional disputes. Chapter 5. Developing your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. BATNA. The BATNA, or best alternative to a negotiated agreement, is a central concept in the Harvard negotiation method. Having a strong BATNA means you are prepared to walk away from a negotiation if you don't get what you want, because you know you have a good alternative. Creating and improving your BATNA. Imagine you are a marketing manager named Julia negotiating a contract with a new advertising agency. Before the negotiation, Julia develops her BATNA. She identifies another agency that can provide similar services, although at a slightly higher cost. During the negotiation, the current agency refuses to adjust its terms to meet Julia's needs. With a strong BATNA, Julia is willing to walk away and explore the alternative, putting pressure on the current agency to offer a better deal. How to apply. Before any negotiation, always develop your BATNA. Know what your best alternative is if the negotiation doesn't go well. The stronger your BATNA, the more power you have during the negotiation. Work to strengthen your alternatives by exploring other options or creating opportunities that can serve as a good plan B. But now, if you like the idea of earning between $5,000 and $10,000 per month as extra income by creating simple videos for YouTube, like this one, I have a complete and straightforward course that I developed for a single payment of $29.90. $29.90 ain't make you poorer or richer, but what if this program works for you? Well, the link is in the first pinned comment of the video and in the About section of the channel, okay? If you're interested, just click the link to know more. But now, back to the content. Chapter 6. Communicating effectively. Communication is one of the pillars of any successful negotiation. Fisher and Urey emphasize the importance of being clear, direct, and honest while remaining attentive to what the other party is actually saying, both verbally and in between the lines. The art of asking and active listening. Let's say you are a project coordinator named Diego negotiating the terms of a new project with an important client. Instead of assuming what the client wants, Diego asks open-ended questions like, "What is most important to you in this project?" And, "How do you envision the success of this project?" He listens attentively to the answers and takes notes on key points. This allows Diego to better understand the client's interests and adapt his proposal to meet these needs, increasing the chances of a successful agreement. How to apply. In your negotiations, ask open-ended questions to better understand the interests and needs of the other party. Practice active listening by paying attention to both words, tone, and body language. This approach not only helps build trust, but also reveals valuable information that can be used to adjust your proposals. Chapter 7. Managing emotions during negotiation. Negotiating is an activity that can trigger many emotions, and these emotions can both help and hinder the process. Getting to yes teaches that it's essential to manage your own emotions and understand the emotions of the other party to achieve a positive outcome. Practicing emotional self-control. Imagine you are a sales director named Fernanda negotiating a large contract with a potential client. During the negotiation, the client makes a comment that Fernanda finds unfair. Instead of reacting impulsively, Fernanda takes a deep breath, acknowledges her emotions, and decides to continue the discussion calmly. She pauses and responds with a question that redirects the conversation to the client's interests. I understand your concern. Can you explain more about what you would like to see to feel comfortable with this contract? This approach helps keep the negotiation on track without letting emotions get in the way. How to apply. During a negotiation, be aware of your emotions and those of the other party. If you feel emotions are escalating, take a break to breathe and reorient the conversation. Use questions to redirect the focus to interests and keep the negotiation productive. Chapter 8. Dealing with difficult negotiators. Not all negotiations are smooth, and sometimes you may encounter negotiators who use difficult or even dishonest tactics. Getting to yes offers strategies for dealing with these situations without losing composure or compromising your values. Polite resistance and redirection tactics. Let's imagine you are an executive named Marcos negotiating with a supplier who insists on using pressure tactics, such as tight deadlines or threats. Instead of reacting defensively, Marcos applies the strategy of polite resistance. He acknowledges the supplier's concerns, but redirects the conversation to objective criteria. I understand you are worried about the deadline, but let's review the contract terms together and see how we can reach an agreement that works for both. By redirecting the conversation, Marcos removes the power of pressure and keeps the negotiation on track. How to apply. When dealing with a difficult negotiator, stay calm and politely resist pressure tactics. Redirect the conversation to interests and objective criteria, and be prepared to use your BATNA if necessary. This approach allows you to maintain control of the negotiation without yielding to unfair tactics. Chapter 9. Closing the negotiation. Getting to yes. Reaching an agreement is the ultimate goal of any negotiation. But how can you ensure that the yes is sustainable and benefits both parties in the long run? Fisher and Urey emphasize the importance of ensuring that the agreement is clear, specific, and acceptable to all involved. Formalizing the agreement. Imagine you are an entrepreneur named Lucas who has just finalized a negotiation with a new business partner. To ensure that both are on the same page, Lucas suggests a written summary of the agreement, highlighting the main points discussed and each party's responsibilities. He reviews the summary with his partner to ensure that everything is clear and that both are satisfied with the terms. This practice helps prevent misunderstandings and ensures that the agreement is implemented effectively. How to apply. When reaching an agreement, make sure all details are clear and specific. Document the agreement in writing and review it with the other party to ensure both understand and accept the terms. This helps ensure that the yes is sustainable and that the agreement is beneficial for all. Conclusion. Mastering the art of negotiation to get what you want. The negotiation techniques taught in Getting to Yes are powerful tools for anyone who wants to improve their negotiation skills and achieve their goals effectively. By separating people from the problem, focusing on interests, generating options for mutual gain, using objective criteria, developing a strong BATNA, and communicating effectively, you can significantly increase your chances of success in any negotiation. Remember, negotiation isn't about winning or losing, but about finding solutions that meet the interests of everyone involved. By applying these principles, you will be well prepared to get what you want whenever you need to negotiate. Did you enjoy the video? Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and share in the comments which of these techniques you will apply first in your negotiations. See you in the next video, where we will continue to explore new ways to achieve success and personal fulfillment.